What's up? Oh, guys, you ready? Goldman Sachs just proved your job isn't safe. AI is taking over banking. I'm Tina Kelly Parker, ex bank executive turned truth teller. Welcome to the Tina Parker Show. This is the assignment and it starts now. You guys ready? Should we dive in? The future of banking just hit hard. Goldman Sachs is actually already using this AI. It's called GS AI Assistant. Okay, it's to replace key job functions, meaning your salary, title, and job safety might be on the chopping block. In this episode of the Relationship Bank, I'm breaking down how this system shakeup impacts you. Yes, you. How you need to stop being tethered to an employer's safety and how to start becoming your own bank. I'm going to cover the facts, the fears, and the fresh opportunities. It's faith grounded, truth driven, and full of tough love. This is what you're going to learn. Okay? What Goldman Sachs says about AI's impact on jobs and why it matters to your career. There's 3 job functions already under threat and what it means for you. How to shift from survival mode, that's waiting on a paycheck, okay, to walking power, owning your financial ecosystem. Action steps you can take right now to protect yourself, pivot your value, and build your own bank. What? Yeah. All right. So this is what let me just read a little excerpt, like a little memo that Goldman Sachs put out. It also shares a few other huge financial institutions that's making some big waves. Okay. In June, the Post reported that Goldman rolled out a new in-house generative AI tool. It's a GS AI assistant. So this is designed to help bankers summarize documents, draft reports, and analyze data. Why does this matter to you? Okay, this assistant is going to boost productivity. But if you think about it, if it's boosting productivity, there's going to be thousands of people that are going to lose their job because it's going to replace those jobs. You may not see it right away, but I guarantee it, there's going to be huge layoffs as I continue to read this year, going into next year. And it's just the beginning. And I would not, if I was you, I would not just sit there and wait. Okay, I would start building something right now, start getting your ducks in order, and start, creating a plan for yourself. All right, so why Goldman said the technology is intended to make employees more efficient, its use has fueled concerns on Wall Street that entry level and back office jobs could disappear. So, in Bloomberg Intelligence study earlier this year predicted that up to 200,000 finance jobs could be lost across the industry within the next 5 years as firms adopt AI systems for routine functions. And it's not just Goldman Sachs, okay? They've already planned reductions come as competitors launch sweeping cost-cutting campaigns of their own. Here's another one. Morgan Stanley is slashing 2,000 positions, about 2.5% of its workforce, under new CEO Ted Pick. The cuts are aimed at curbing expenses after a year of slowing deal activity and minimal attrition. Okay, here's another one. JP Morgan Chase has disclosed 4 rounds of layoffs in 2025, including 88 staffers at its Jersey City office this fall, bringing its total to more than 400. Meanwhile, Citigroup is pursuing one of the largest restructurings on Wall Street, trimming 20,000 jobs over 2 years as the CEO, Jane Fraser, simplifies operations and invests in new technology. So this whole overhaul is projected to save 2.5 billion annually by 2026. It's flattened management layers and placed divisional leaders in direct contact with the CEO. So massive. The point is that it's not just, this is the financial sector across the world. I mean, it's going to happen everywhere. And not just banking, not just financial services. I mean, it's everywhere. I just read that Amazon is cutting. I just am, I grew up on welfare. I was a single mom. I was, all these things. I don't want to see women in survival mode. I was at a bank for over 20 years. And when I lost my job during a cut, during last merger and acquisition, I was devastated. I was going through a divorce. I was left with nothing. I was in complete shock after pouring my heart into the financial industry. Total was just over 20 years. And so I had to start over. And so I see this, we got to do something for these people. I want to share with you, if you follow me, subscribe, I'm going to always be sharing new information, not just about banking, about life, lifestyle. I believe health is wealth. I share on why I believe that you need to be in shape. Okay, have some discipline. That's part of leadership. And you present yourself better by doing that. Because if you want to go out on your own, when you leave the bank, you want to be the best version that you can be. They don't teach personal development really in bank, they might a little bit, but an education, I'm going to share information on the education, what's developing there. So I'm not just about banking. It's just like a lifestyle. It's life, business, sales, what's to come, AI, So I'm going to talk about a lot of things. So subscribe if that interests you. All right, so let's move on. Goldman Sachs research estimates that AI could replace 6 to 7% of U.S. jobs if widely adopted. That's their baseline risk, okay? They identify high-risk roles as programmers, accountants, auditors, administrative assistants, customer service, and credit analysts. They also openly told staff they're planning job cuts and headcount constraints as they lean into AI for efficiency. Relatable example. Okay, here's something that could, you may relate with. If you're working a safe middle management finance job, processing reports, doing analysis, or supporting client onboarding, the machine might be coming for your function next. Your employer's loyalty to you, I'll tell you what, I was with one of the largest banks in the country. I was just a number, okay? I just want you to know that. Like, you're really just a number. Sorry, but it's true. I was a top producer, lender, leader, and I was a number. When it comes to something like this, a crisis, which we're having across the country, when it comes to this, and when it comes to AI taking jobs, they just have to make that hard decision, even if they love you. Sorry, but we have to let you go. It's just business. It's just business, okay? So they will adopt whatever keeps profits up. You need to adopt your own safety net. You should have several, streams of income. Build your brand. Get online. I know in banking, we didn't do that. It was only, they didn't let you have your own identity. You kind of had to be a robot. You kind of had to just play the game, I believe that you should be able to be your own brand. You should be able to have your own identity, So this isn't sci-fi. The shift is already happening now. If you haven't realized what's going on with digital currency, that's a huge part of it, you guys. So much is changing with that. And I'll tell you what, if banks are not, if you work for a financial institution and they're not telling you what they're doing on the back end to plan for digital currency in crypto, if they're not telling you what's going on, that's a disservice. Like I would be so, I talked to someone at Wells and she said, no, we haven't learned anything about digital currency or crypto or anything like that. And I'm like, what a disservice. It's already in place. They're already putting all this stuff in. Um, so yeah, that GI or GS assistant tool is taking over. Okay. And that means fewer new hires, fewer training ground jobs, and more replacement of older functions. So what this means for you, survival mode versus walking power. You can step into your power, because this will put a lot of people in survival mode, which is like panic. What am I going to do? You can lean into your power and take control over this situation by, wrapping your head around the idea that, there is another alternative. Okay. So if you're waiting for life to hand you a paycheck, you're tethered. You're like the elephant that's tied to the, tree, but then but in reality, the chain isn't even attached. You know what I mean? It just looks like it's attached to the tree and it believes it's attached to the tree. Okay, that means you're tethered. You got to become untethered, all right? Don't attach yourself to anything or anyone. Like you want to be strong enough and in your power that you can adapt and overcome. The new model demands you walk in your own power, okay? Build your own bank internally. Internal to you, People do, I just want to remind people of this. People bank with people, okay? Your businesses, if you have relationships with businesses, they're there because of you, not because of the bank or credit union. Remember that. The system is changing. Banks no longer just rely on hiring humans. They're investing huge in AI productivity. You must stop and rely on one employer, one job, one function. I think you should learn new skills. Walking power means leveraging your value, building multiple streams, owning assets, owning relationships, controlling your ecosystem, not relying on someone else's. You're building their business, and at the end of the day, they're just going to say you're done. You're just a number. Okay, go. And I feel also bad for all the customers because it makes a huge impact when they have to start all over when you're gone because they built that relationship with you and they have to start all over with someone else or with an AI assistant. A friend of mine, here's an example. Like you could have someone that's been years in financial services. She trusted her job, security. She didn't think she was going anywhere and didn't prepare for an alternate income stream. Then AI automation came. The role got trimmed. She was left scrambling, whereas another woman built a side consulting business, leveraged her relationships and skills, and now has more control. So if you're not actively building your bank, I'm not talking about a physical building, okay? You don't have to have that. But if you have an ecosystem, you have vetted you have vetted partners, business partners, that anything that your client needs, they come to you because you've already vetted these people. You trust them. You know that if you referred one of your clients to them, they're going to take very good care of them. Okay. That's what this is about. They can, and you even have banks, every bank and credit union, they have, between every financial institution, I should say, has their own niche. You can work with a particular banker that is at the bank, physically, but they really don't even need to go to the bank. You know what I mean? They can still use you. They just go there to deposit their money. And most people aren't even going to the branches anymore. Okay. But then as they're building in their business, okay, their business has needs. That's where you come in. Maybe their child wants to buy a car. That's where you come in. You have vetted car dealer groups, car dealer salespeople that you work with, and you vetted them and you know that they take good care of customers. Maybe wealth building. You have vetted people in that industry and you can help them solve that problem. Okay, that's what you do. So here's some action steps. Protect, pivot, and build. The story isn't doom and gloom. This is exciting. If you see this as doom and gloom, I just want to remind you, this is an opportunity. If you act now, you can ride the change instead of being squashed by it. You want to protect and audit your role. List tasks that you do daily. Identify which could be automated. Think about it. Okay, what are the things I do every day? Could they be automated? Then ask, how do I add value beyond that work? That's how you build more skills, okay? Pivot, develop skills and roles that are less automatic. They require strategic thinking, relationship building, creative problem solving, leadership, managing human dynamics. The Goldman Sachs research says roles least at risk include top executives, radiologists, clergy, roles with high human judgment and intangible value. And begin building your own financial ecosystem. Leverage your relationships, build assets, create value that you own. Okay, that's the essence of the relationship bank model. For instance, consulting, coaching, financial services, partnerships, lending networks, alternative assets. That's you. Okay, related. You might start offering relationship banking services, connecting clients to vetted partners. That's what it is, okay? While still working your day job. So you just start like making note of your vetted partners. You making note of your, your customers that are loyal to you. Because I say this because that's how it was. Even when I was in a bank or credit union, I had business clients that only worked with me, and they would come to me for all their needs. Hey, I need to buy a car. Who do you recommend? Hey, I want to buy a house. Who do you recommend? Hey, I need treasury services, you know, and I had a partner within the bank. Okay. So you can use those. I need merchant services. Who do I use? You guys, you can create your own ecosystem. You get it? You don't have to wait until you're forced to change. I would start accumulating this information. Start building your brand, okay? Do it proactively so you're leading instead of reacting. I'm just giving you a heads up because they're not telling you everything. And you're too busy working. You might not be reading all the things. Although when I was at Washington Mutual, I started paying a lot of attention to what was being said in the news. But it made it difficult for me to focus on bringing in new clients, because when you hear we're going under or we're going to be merged, I was like, I don't want to mislead my clients, you know? Building your money ecosystem is like building your body. Okay? You don't get shredded by accident. You get consistent, strategic discipline. If you don't know, I'm doing a fitness challenge right now to help folks, one, get in better shape, but two, it helps build their confidence, and it helps them build self-trust, that they believe that they can do things, So if you're not following me on Instagram, you can follow me at The Real Tina Parker, and you can join my little, 30-day fitness challenge. And I'll do different things throughout, all the time. But that's just what I'm doing right now. Okay? But it's just like that. You commit to a fitness challenge. Each week, you shape strength, endurance. You must commit to a financial challenge. Audit your income streams. Reach out to a partner. Create an asset. You can challenge yourself. I will connect with 3 potential partners. Research 2 alternative asset classes. And design a mini income stream that earns while you sleep. You guys, a podcast. Okay? A podcast show. It actually, as you build it up, sometimes you have to do some things for free in the beginning. Okay, it starts before anyone gets to know you. But you build that up, and then you can get brand deals, you can get affiliate links, you can get all kinds of things to help you build side income. Okay. But you don't think about these things when you're in the bank because you're just focused on that. But there's so many opportunities outside of that. Discipline builds your strength. So when your job landscape changes, which it is, AI's here, you stand firm. You're not scrambling, you're shifting. You already know what you're going to do. The job may be automated, but your discipline, your relationships, your value creation muscle, those cannot be outsourced. All right. So, ladies, listen, this is not, I don't come here to put you in fear. Okay. This is all about truth telling. I've been studying this, I've been watching it, I've been through what you're going through. I was in the bank, it happened to me twice. If you think your job is safe, guess again. Today, I just wanted to be honest and real with you of what's going on so that you're not left scrambling. Connect with me if you have any questions. Subscribe to my show if you want to continue learning and growing. And if this is the first time you've heard it, I'm sorry for you. This has been years in the making. Okay, huge. So if that truth shook you, good. We have to be shook sometimes, okay? I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to make you capable. Hit follow, share this message, and remember, systems collapse, but your faith, if you have strong faith, that stands. This is the Tina Parker Show, and the assignment continues. Thanks for joining. You have a great day.